Aha, Amansan online TV. Send no first time or share channel ya. Make sure to like it, no one share, no one subscribe it, no one or comment at the amaye. Asha for and simply circulate in social media iswa obia episa obeshe. Be amunim se Amansan online TV de. The no crown kwa and a debrem. Make sure mo se mo be come ho. Ni akoshe video no aba.
A hypocrite? Is that not a liar? Is that not a wicked man? So clearly they are bereft of ideas. Look, at every opportunity given to President Mahama in the economy. So that panacea, yes, nobody has said the electric corridor is not the way to go. 2 days ago, you saw President Mahama driving an electric car. He was trying it. But people know that when it's got to do with innovation, when it's got to do with prudent management, then it's got to do with President Mahama. But if you want somebody who would say one thing and do another, who would lie, why? Baumia has a history of saying that he was going to give even Okada riders free cars and you exchange your motorbike for an Uber. You remember?
The Koda vehicles.
The Koda vehicles. What happened to that policy?
That they
brought about 10 or is it 15 and gave to their youth organizers. No Okada person in this country got a single one. And if you want to bring Okada people into the studio and ask them, he simply lied in 2020. They told us they were going to bring Sky Trains. You remember? And we see what? More than $2 million was already paid to the contractor. And at the end of the day, they said that particular policy cannot be implemented. Yet, you have already paid money. So anywhere you hear Alhaji Bawumia mentioning a policy, it means that there's an avenue to siphon money. There's an avenue to dupe the state. And they would always implement things that will become non-status. Yet, they will dole out monies and pay for those particular projects. You should tell us what happened to the Sky Train system. What happened to it? They told us it was going to be a means of transport. Even the Ayalolo buses President Mahama brought, they grounded them. Go to Achimota, the station. Sometimes when I look at them, I become so teary that people are struggling with transportation in this country. Yet as a result of your wickedness and your selfishness, you have grounded buses your predecessor brought, all in the name of politics. Kojo, why do we do this to ourselves? I mean, as young people, I think we must change the narrative. Let's try and help our generation. The older generation have admitted that as a result of very reckless and wicked ones like Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, their generation have failed and they declare themselves that yes, they have not been able to live up to tax.
But Dr. Bawumia,
unfortunately, they had leaders like Akufo-Addo, they had Bawumia as part of their generation. And those two people have poured sand in their gari. But you and I must take the mantle and let's
go. And so I'm better placed now to be able to steer the affairs of the country going into the future.
So the first question you must ask him is, what is his solution to the problems we currently find ourselves in? In fact, what are the solutions to the problems he caused for this particular country? If you want to realize that Bawumia is totally bereft of ideas, listen to his campaigns. He has 3 messages. He says, vote for me because I'm a Muslim. He said, vote for me because I'm a northerner. Now, the new message is that vote for me because I'm a brand new president and I'm not a home use president. Look at such a character.
But are we not majoring on the minors then? Because he presented a manifesto telling us exactly why he should be voted for.
So tell me one peculiar problem that his manifesto solves. Tell me, I'm sitting here. Give me one policy that his manifesto seeks to solve. Tell me, I mean,
he's talked about digitalization.
Is that the solution to which problem?
Yeah, he's talking about how the world is going. We need to get digitalized. For which reason? That would also build the economy.
My brother,
we'll join other countries that are doing so well.
The biggest challenge we have in this country now is unemployment, whether you like it or not. I have repeatedly said that you don't create solutions to non-existent problems. When you do that, the solution will become a problem in the long run. We were in this country when they said they were going to build a National Cathedral. We told them it was not the solution to any problem. You remember? And we told them that people already had facilities. They were holding conferences and whatever in. There's no church that needs the National Cathedral for anything. They run their churches by themselves. And so that National Cathedral was not a solution to any problem. They refused to listen to us. They started a project. $1 billion have been squandered and siphoned and this. At a point in time, one human being was even 2 people on the board. We don't know today whether he was Victor Kusi Boateng or whether he's Reverend Kobene Edu-Jemfi. We don't know. People just use dubious means to siphon monies. Look, the one who took pen and paper and drew the National Cathedral, David Ajayi, was paid 125 million for just drawing the plan and giving to the country. 2 days he raised a certificate, they paid him their monies. Recklessly spent monies and mismanaged all the funds that were given to them to build that cathedral. Today, Go and look at the state of the cathedral. It has become the biggest problem to the people of this country. And the last time I was telling President Mahama that, look, that particular project, I have an interest in it. We shouldn't only retrieve the funds, but we should let the people use shovels and refill the hole they have dug there. When they finish refilling it, we should build an anti-corruption agency there and put a prison just by its side. Start sentencing all the people who dug that hole. You see, my pain in that particular project is that they didn't only sink the hole, they collapsed high-rise buildings. Because you know how rent is expensive in Accra today.
Yeah.
And plush buildings that belonged to judges. You have the effrontery to collapse them. And you took judges, went and rented for them at a high cost, at the expense of you and I, our taxes. The passport office and other high-rise buildings that were there, they collapsed all of them, leading this country into huge financial loss. After you finished with that, you then sink a hole and you leave it. And that hole has virtually become a Galamsey pit. So this government is entirely bereft of ideas and panaceas to the problems of this country. Again, they told us one of the problems of this country was that our presidential jet was faulty and couldn't fly. You saw the problem they created in that. They went around hiring private jets. If today President Akufo-Addo wants to watch a Liverpool UEFA Champions League finals at Madrid, they'll go and rent a private jet, pay £14,000 an hour. It will fly him there to go and sit and watch a football match. Look, these are the things President Mahama says I won't do. If I want to watch a UEFA Champions League match, I will renew my DSTV with 200 cedis, sit in my house, and I'll watch the match live. You, Akufo-Addo, can you even stand in the stadium and watch the match down there? Yet you want to be in the stadium at all costs, all at the expense of the taxpayer. So the point I'm making is that this government does not understand the problem we find ourselves in. The youth of this country need jobs. Our growth rates are dwindling. GDP is on the low. Our debt is skyrocketing. And you come and stand there and you think it's a laughing matter. It's a playing matter. Anywhere you find yourself, then the child will be shouting boaben, boaben, and you'll be pressing the horn. Look at what an adult has virtually reduced himself into. President Mahama, at every given opportunity, professes solution to the problems we find ourselves.
And you think with the
President
issue of
Mahama said,
unemployment, the NPP has not proffered any solution?
Not a single solution. All what they have been saying have been whack. They have read their manifesto, 216 pages. And Kojo, I dare tell you that 216 pages of plain sheets are better than 216 pages of the MPP's manifesto. Because at least the plain sheets can be useful to you and I to print new documents. But the MPP's manifesto is entirely empty. It is entirely a repetition of things they have said before, and it's entirely a total disaster to the corridors of this country. Take the manifesto, go into it, and tell me a single solution they have professed. Rather, the problems they have bestowed on us, that is what Alhaji Bawumia has gotten the effrontery to mount a podium and pretend as if his solutions are going to solve the problems he has bestowed on us. E-levy, you Alhaji Bawumia, the only advice you have given to Akufo-Addo since you became his vice president is to tax. They brought an e-levy tax unnecessary. The whole world, the only country that still charges COVID-19 tax is Ghana, under the auspices of Alhaji Bawumia. The whole world, the only country that taxes boiler tax, sanitation tax, is Ghana, under the auspices of Bawumia. Betting that youth have been engaging in small. And I'm not saying betting is a good thing, but if the youth of this country have jobs, they will not bet. They bet because they don't have jobs. Now you, Bawumia,
so are you saying those who bet are people who don't have jobs? Because I know people who have jobs and still bet.
That means that the jobs they are doing are papa jobs. Their salary is not enough for them. And I already told you that there are people who go to work, but even if they didn't go to work, it would have been better because their salary is not sufficient. People engage in these bettings because they need extra source of finances. You, Bawumia, you pretended as if you were a Muslim and you are a Malam and you gave haram to betting. Yet when they cook the pig soup, you now beg them to give you some of the soup to drink. If you don't want betting, cancel it. If you are allergic to pig meat, you don't drink pig soup. Now you have told the youth of this country that you can bet. When you win the bet, I beg you, give me 10% to also chop.